Well, Nikki Haley drops out of the presidential race after a huge loss to Donald Trump on Super Tuesday, setting up a likely rematch between Trump and President Biden.
Now that both candidates have basically clinched their party's nominations, what's next? Joining us now is Ben Max, executive editor at New York Law School Center for New York City Law. Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Trump has over 1,000 delegates now, very close to clinching the nomination. Just how dominant was he last night?
He was pretty dominant, although I would say in a number of contests, as has been the case throughout the primary, Nikki Haley performed a bit better than some might have expected. Now, obviously, she didn't win. She only won a couple of contests, Vermont, D.C., but again, showing some of the issues that Trump might have to deal with for a general election in terms of bringing those voters back into his camp.
You think he's going to bring those voters back to his camp? Because you were saying that it kind of surprised you. People still voting for Haley, even though they knew she was going to lose.
Right. That's one of the most interesting trends of this primary, is that as it went on, it was pretty clear that Trump was going to wrap up the nomination at some point here. And she stayed in the race. Interesting choice by her. And not only that, but a sizable portion of these primary voters, 30–40%, still voting for her as a signal in some ways to Donald Trump about what they want to see from a Republican nominee. And he has a choice in front of him now about outreach to those voters. And she said that same thing in her speech, not endorsing him, but saying you have to come and earn these votes now. It's a very interesting moment.
We've seen almost all of the GOP contenders then back Trump. Do you think she's going to join the Trump camp? I mean, what do you foresee happening there?
This is a little bit hard to predict at this moment. Nikki Haley's calculus seems to be a long game. She's relatively young. She certainly has her eye on 2028, but we also don't know between now and then what she might be thinking. So that will be one of the biggest questions over the next few months. But let's also keep in mind, the voters for her are not necessarily Nikki Haley diehards. They are Republicans who want, again, to see Trump take a little bit of a broader outlook on his policymaking, take some more positions that are more traditionally conservative in terms of international relations and things like that. So her sway, whether she endorses him or not, is not as big as her vote share.
Okay, so Trump-Biden rematch. However, if you're a Democrat, this is a five-alarm fire right now. Looking at a new CBS poll 2 days ago, shows that Trump is leading Biden 52–48 with likely voters. Are they going to pull something out of the hat here with that? Because I'd be like, let me figure out a different game plan.
Well, the moment for that was a long time ago if they were going to think about a different nominee. I mean, that moment has passed unless something happens with Biden's health or something like that. So the question now is whether the Biden campaign and many surrogates, you know, get Barack Obama out on the campaign trail, et cetera, whether that will really work for him. But now that the choices are narrowed, the real general election campaign gets going, and even it doesn't really start until the summer, the conventions, and then you get into the real meat of the campaign in the fall. So those polls are absolutely warning signs to Biden and the Democrats, but it's still relatively early in this race.
And I mean, with that comes debates, and Trump today said, you know, I'm willing to debate Biden anytime, anywhere. Do you think Biden's going to debate Trump?
I do.
Think we'll see that?
Oh yeah, I think we will.
Okay.
Well, there's a presidential commission on debates. You know, it was actually the Republicans that were removing themselves from that process. So I think there's a lot to be determined, but I do think Biden will be willing to debate, I would say, at least once, maybe not all of the 3 times. But again, I don't. Both of these candidates, we don't know what their calculus will be once the debate season in the fall comes around. I mean, some of that will depend on what the polling shows and whether one or the other thinks they have an upper hand in that face-off. But I have a feeling at this point that we will see them debate each other.
All right. Well, what's old is new, I guess.
Oh, my goodness.
Back there
The
again.
rematch nobody asked for, yeah.
All right, Ben, thank you so much. Appreciate it.